My name is Gerika Ballard. This medal on the board is arguably one of the most valuable metals on the earth today. It's californium. Let me tell you why. Californium has a half-life of 2.6 years. That's not long at all. It disappears very quickly. Californium is also very expensive. It costs $30 million for 1 gram because there's not very much of it. But the most important thing about californium is that it is on its way to curing cancer. And that's important to me because my grandpa just got diagnosed with terminal cancer. And even though this metal is very valuable, there's something that is more valuable than this metal that I'm going to talk to you about today. And that is time. My grandpa views time very differently because of his current situation. Time is our most precious resource. Time is everything, especially in the business world. That's why it is important to be on time. Why is it essential for you to be on time? Show your character. When you're on time, it says a lot about who you are. 19% of Americans arrive late on a regular basis. That's pretty sad. That means 1 out of every 5 people that you meet in America is arriving late on a regular basis. What's worse is that 38% of millennials, that's my generation as a millennial, arrive on time. That means 62% of us are not arriving on time. So, if we want to stand out in the business world, all we gotta do is be on time. When we are on time, it shows that we are interested in what the meeting that's going on. It shows that we value the person's time that we're meeting with, and it shows that we're committed to the individual, committed to the event, we're ready to go. Karen Fowler said, arriving late was a way of saying that your own time was more valuable than the time of the person that waited for you. It's a very true statement. It's unfortunate, but we do not want to send this message. We don't want to arrive late and show that, my time is not as important as your time. We want to arrive on time. So how do you know if you need to change? Check yourself. It's very important to self-analyze and figure out where you're at. On this board, I'm going to put up a list of questions for you to do just that, to check yourself. And then you can answer in your own head. Do you speed? When you're driving on the freeway, are you constantly moving and weaving in between cars and pushing the speed limit because you didn't plan enough time? Do you know the time? Do you know what time it is right now? Do you know what time you have to leave? Are you aware? If not, you probably should be. Are you frequently apologizing for being late? Is your heart and mind racing when you sit down somewhere? If you show up to class or a meeting and 10 minutes goes by and you can't even recall what was said because in your brain you're just trying to catch up from your last events? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to change. So how can you be on time? Plan ahead. Planning ahead is the #1 antidote to being late. If you plan, you won't be late. There's lots of things that we can use to be on time and to plan. We can use a pen and a paper that's shown here. We can use our iPhones. We can use the Google Calendar. There's so many resources that are available to us that we should use. Sukkot Rakanar said that the beginning of a great day begins the night before. Arriving on time is not an accident, and people know that. It says something about you when you show up on time because you did it purposefully. One tool that I really like to use is Google Calendar. Google Calendar tells you how much time you need to get from A to B, and it puts in traffic as well. So what you need to do, though, is put in 5 minutes when you get into the car and 5 minutes getting out of the car. That way, you won't be late because you're budgeting that time in there. Just like we talked about in the beginning, the California metal is valuable because it can cure cancer. Time is important. Time is really important to those cancer patients. They know, my grandpa knows, that time is expensive, that time is scarce, and that it disappears, and that it is valuable. When we're on time, it says a lot about ourselves, and we can change the world around us. So why is it essential for you to be on time? Show your character, check yourself, plan ahead, be on time.